So Israel, you've now been speaking at the Himmel event. What was your message to the Norwegian public today?
Well, the message was, first of all, to update people of God what God is doing in Israel. We have all kind of bad news, difficult news, and it is difficult time for Israel. But at the same time, in the middle of all of that, God is working. God is doing miracles. God is saving people. So it's important to know not only challenges, but also another side of God's story and all the miracles and how gospel is preached in Israel in the middle of war.
Yeah.
And I also received a message for Norwegian church, for believers in Norway. And the message actually was, it's time for Norway to pray, not only to pray for Israel, and Norwegian Christians were very faithful praying for Israel, but actually it's really time to pray for Norway. You know, there's many movements took place in the years, and many different flags were risen above Norway. LGBT flag was risen upon Norway, and now Hamas flag risen upon Norway. And it's a time for Church of Norway to stand up and to raise flag of Jesus, to proclaim the gospel, to proclaim and pray, because when when Norwegian government supporting and doing stands against Israel, it's actually open door for enemy. It's like really stand against Israel biblically. It's a very dangerous place because it will open door for many problems. But also I received the message that if Christians will raise up, if Christians will pray and preach the gospel, they continue to preach the gospel, things will change and Norway will be saved. And when people come to know Jesus, they always understand Israel, because we don't speak about just political Israel. We speak about God's promises to Israel and to the nations. And Norway and Israel, they are connected. I know many Christians here love Israel, and it's a time to spread the message and stand strong for God in His kingdom.
Yeah, so you are planning a big event this fall. Could you tell a little bit about that?
Yes, so what happened, I was preaching in the church and it was powerful meetings, but we talked with Pastor Knut and his share. He gave me a paper signed by many pastors and ministers, and he told us once they did a document releasing official support of Christians toward Israel, because they believe in God's promises and what God is doing. So my heart has jumped and I said, we need to do it again now, especially after decision of Norwegian government to stand against Israel and to line up with Israeli enemies who basically openly saying we here created by God, by Allah, and the purpose of our life to destroy Israel. So we will destroy Israel or we will die trying. And that's what, unfortunately, Norwegian government, because of politics and confusion, they support that initiative and not Israel. And I know it's very dangerous. But when churches and pastors and many people come together and say, we don't agree with that, and releasing blessing instead of curse, showing the support. And to support Israel doesn't mean to agree with everything. Israel do mistakes as well, but we're speaking about main things, about message of God and plan of God for Israel. So eventually it's come out that more and more pastors want to come and go to the Knesset and to give this paper signed by many Christians to government of Israel. But at the same time, there is also prayer organized by a friend of mine in the Knesset, they have prayer for Israel. So all these things come up together, and eventually it's going to be a big gathering and many pastors, but also I believe it's very significant and very powerful spiritually, and we can call it even prophetic meeting, prophetic event, because it is about releasing the word of God and stand for promises of God for Israel, for Norway, and for the nations.
So then there will also be some Norwegians coming to Israel to take part in this event.
Yes. First of all, Norwegians. We're speaking about Norwegians because it happened in Norway, and we just saw the way to combine two things together. But yes, Norwegian pastors will come. We're going to have conference or seminars when we're going to share about Israel, Norway, Israeli pastors, Norwegian pastors, ministers will be powerful, and highlight will be going to the Knesset and releasing this blessing into Israeli government and pray and praise Jesus. Yeah.
And there will also be a lot of Israeli pastors.
Yes, also many Israeli pastors will come. They want to meet Norwegian pastors, but they want to deepen our friendships and to meet new pastors. It's going to be a great event for pastors and leaders and influential ministers and ministries.
How could people take part or support this event?
Well, first of all, prayer. prayer is most important, and it's important to pray because not everyone can come to Israel, but everyone can take time and pray. But also to send, maybe probably to send your leader, your pastor, some of your leaders who can represent your church or your ministry, and also go with the pastors, still with men and women together.
So what time is this event taking place?
The highlight will be November 26th. So the conference will be a couple of days prior to that. Okay. So please follow up and come to visit us, my congregation, and Israel, and we're going to see what God is doing in such a difficult days as this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.